Takes and Talks.
Hello and welcome to this gorgeous, graceful, and thought provoking episode of Takes and Talks Beauty with Brains, presented to you by Cinema for a Cause. Beauty is generally described with adjectives like mesmerizing, enigmatic, charming, and so on. However, with the changing times and changing roles of the individuals, especially women in the society, the dimension, definition, and most importantly, the periphery of these adjectives have changed and broadened, of course, for the better. So now, if we say beauty is ravishing and glamorous, at the same time, beauty is simple and austere too. If beauty is wild and intoxicating, it is also composed and poised. And most importantly, if we say beauty is dainty, delicate, and petite, at the same time, beauty is strong, tolerant, and enduring. And who personifies these adjectives better than our today's guest? So let us welcome actor, anchor, groomer, model, beauty queen, dubbing artist, and joint director of Kolkata's one of the leading film and television institutes, the one and only Tuhinaa Pandey. Hello, Tuhinaa. Good evening. Namaskar.
Very good
How are
evening,
you?
Shobhita. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. And I'm delighted to be on this show today.
And we are honored to have you as our guest.
Thank you. I'm humbled and honored at the same time, too.
Next, we would like to welcome the backbone, the very backbone of our Cinema for a Cause, and the ideator and moderator of our Takes and Talk series, none other than Mr. Abhishek Ganguly. Hello, Mr.
Good evening,
Ganguly. Welcome to
Shobhita.
Takes and Talks.
Thank you, Shomishta. And that was a lovely description of what beauty is. I loved the ravishing and the simple. What a combo. And we have Tuhina. The combo is right there virtually in front of us. Fantastic,
Yeah, she
Shomishta. Yeah, before
personifies
we
that.
start, absolutely. Before we start off, if you have to say something else, please carry on.
Yes. So, dear viewers, as I always say, Takes and Talks is your very own show. So, please participate in the show. Do send us your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, and please do not forget to ask questions to Tuhina, which will be duly answered by her towards the end of the show. Now, over to you, Mr. Ganguly.
Thank you, Shomishta. Thanks once again for setting the tone, the mood for the evening. Beauty with brains. And what is it? It's the best combo of inner beauty and the external disposition. And an embodiment of that, a symbol of that is right here, Tuhinaa Pandey. And, like I'm just reading through what all she is. Fantastic list, grooming expert, actor, anchor, model, beauty queen, choreographer, dubbing artist. Well, it's an endless list. And obviously, she's a very simple, extremely approachable, humble human being, too. And she's the joint director of George Telegraph Film and Television Institute, Kolkata. She has had a fantastic journey of life, a dream journey, starting from a very simple background to reaching the pinnacles of success where Tuhina is standing today. Now, Tuhina, we will start this question and answer session by asking you, in Tuhina's own definition, what do you mean by real true beauty?
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for calling me in this show. I'm simply honored. I'm very happy, delighted. Beauty to me always relates to the intellect part. So, a person who's intelligent enough is beautiful to me. And obviously, with a caring heart, touch of emotion, that are the attributes which I look for. Because to me, external beauty, it fades with time. And a person who's internally beautiful, a good human being, is beautiful forever. So that is the definition.
Lovely. It seems that you are on the, Mrs. Universe stage and the anchor is asking you this question, and you have scored a 10 out of 10. Fantastic, Tuhinaa.
Oh,
Tuhinaa, you are
thank you.
you are so versatile, a multi-specialist. As I read, like all the different roles or all the different skills which you have. Now you must be having one which is your favorite. What is it?
In fact, Abhishek, I have two things which I really like. I love to do. I can do a lot many things, but the thing which I most enjoy doing is uh, to be a mentor of hundreds and thousands of students or people of a range of different ages. Because what I believe I can do best is to motivate someone. I'm a very positive person. I'm an excellent guide. I know I have the power to motivate someone, to guide someone through the right path. And I have the power to motivate a person to achieve his or her goal, uh, like by pushing off all the hurdles that comes in his or her path. So that is the best thing, and I love to do that. And the other thing is, I'm a very good administrator. The role of an administrator that I play, I've been playing for the past 20 years, is the best thing I can do. I'm a very good team leader. I'm a very hard taskmaster, but I take care of my team as well. And the administration part, that is my forte. I can do that very well. I love to do that.
Fantastic, a motivator, and with that, managing things very, very efficiently, inspiring people, from the aspiration, getting onto their dreams, making it happen. That's really fantastic. Tuhinaa, tell us, don't you have the fear of, burning out? You're doing so many things. You are multi-skilled. You are a multi-specialist. So, is there any fear at the back of your mind that there could be a time when you burn out?
No, not really. Because I don't know how you'll take this, but the kind of potential I have, 25% of it has been used.
Okay.
75% is yet to be used. I know that. And I'm a completely workaholic person. I love to work. I enjoy doing my work. And like lot many things are there which I can do in my coming years also. So no question of burning out. I'm there. I'm enjoying it very much, and I am a multitasker, and I do things which I can do well. Otherwise, I won't say yes to that. I don't compromise in quality. So no question of burning out. Yes.
Okay, great to know that the Tuhinaa flame will be on and on, endlessly. She's a timeless personality. Fantastic, Tuhinaa. Tuhinaa the timeless. Well, this is a new adjective to Tuhinaa Pandey. Now, if we ask Tuhinaa Pandey to define or to describe what Tuhinaa Pandey herself is, if I ask you, Tuhinaa, how will you describe yourself? What will it be?
A very simple person, a very simple girl, a good human being, I must say, because I'm extremely emotional, I'm extremely helpful. I can do anything. I go to any extent for the person I love, whom I consider as my friend or who are close to my heart. I can do anything for them, uh, like be it in any form. And definitely, I believe in myself. I'm a true believer in positive things, in good things in life. And at the end of the day, I listen to everybody, but I have a mind of my own. I take every decision on my own. I listen to everybody, but I'll decide on my own. So, very decisive. I take a lot of time in taking a decision, maybe, but when I think it's yes, it's yes. If I think it's a no, it's a no. Nothing can change that. a lot of self-respect I have. I like that is the only thing which I uh, cling to, cling on to. I am dignified. At the same time, I'm a very emotional, you might say an emotional fool, but I love myself. That is the way. And if I find something, or if I think there's something, there's a scope of rectification, I try to do that. I respect my seniors. I respect anybody, uh, even if he or she is like, uh, what do I say? He or she might be a somebody of lower age, or like younger than me, or anybody. If I can learn something from them, I try to do that. I try to grasp, I try to learn from everybody I meet. And end of the day, I know I'm a good human being above everything else. Nothing that.
Lovely,
Flaws
Tuhinaa.
definitely I have. Flaws definitely I have. Nobody is without flaws. I do have that. I'm very short tempered. And sometimes, like, being emotional is a minus point. But end of the day, it's me without my makeup. It's me myself.
Lovely. I really love that. Like Tuhina faces the mirror every day. She thinks, she introspects. And as you said, that you listen to everyone, but you never leave out the decision making position. So you are assertive, confident, determined, but you also give importance to other suggestions. So you are a team woman, but a leader who leads with your assertive goals and assertive views, but you take maybe the values, the different value additions other people do as well. Fantastic. And you also, you kind of introspect. You always to do a self audit and find out your own flaws and try to rectify them as you journey of in life. Fantastic,
Yeah,
Tuhina.
I always
I
do that.
am I am motivated, I'm inspired myself. Maybe there would be a day when I will be working with you, and I'll also get the kind of fantastic rhythm which you really exude and exhibit. Fantastic. Tuhina, you are a diva of the showbiz world. People, they get inspired. They give your example. A simple girl finally, walking the ramp, reaching the pinnacles of success in modeling, beauty contests, acting, everything coming onto your, like plate. How did it all begin? How did the journey start off?
It started very suddenly. Like, I was in college, and Sanjay Sangvi, he's a well-known designer. He has many boutiques right now. But at that point of time, he was new and he was looking for tall girls. He came to our JU campus in Sector 1, and I got selected because I was thin, I was tall, I was dusky, and somehow I got selected. And that was the show which made it all happen. Like, after that, and another thing happened, because from that year, 𝗕𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗬 started. And I went with my mother to Shishi Studio for a photo shoot. I had 𝗕𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗬 in mind, and my mother had my marriaging in her mind. So the photo shoot happened. Yeah, the photo, because I'm a great fan of Sushmita Singh. Like, I follow her till today, every day. So saw her winning the crown made me think that I want to do this is what I want to do. So I had the beauty contest in mind, and my mother had a different thing in her mind. So we went to Shishi Studio. We I had my photo shoot, and somehow the photographs came very well. Though I did not get selected for the Tilottama in that year, I participated in other contests when I started modeling. But before that, what Orunda did, like everything, I'll give the credit to that man. He took two of my photographs in sari and made it big and put it on his billboard inside the studio. So Rothin Majumdar, a well-known producer, you'll be knowing, like, he was the one who came and he saw the photograph, and he sent me to Prabhat Roy. So he said, go and talk to him. see what can be done, because you have got a like very like you have a very photogenic face and you talk so well. Like that, that is always, that has been an advantage always, because I can talk well. I'm very good in English as well as Bengali. So he said, go. I went and like met Prabhat, Prabhat Prabhat Roy, like the famous director, and he said, okay, let's see what you can do. So he took me, a very famous teleserial was going on at that time, directed by him, Andolon. Like Benuda and Ritudi was doing the lead, and he took me in a very small role, but that was actually my screen test. So I shot for that. I featured in only 2 episodes. Like I was a completely junior artist at that time, featured as a friend of Ritudi's friend. So after that, he called me and he casted me in the film Lathi. That unfortunately I couldn't do because my semester dates clashed with the shooting dates, and that couldn't be changed. So that was the end of my acting thing. But I went on getting shows and Pepsi. Today's 𝗕𝗘𝗏𝗧𝗬𝗪. It was his journey started in that year. 𝗵𝗱𝗱𝗆 Basu, 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥, 𝗪𝗜𝗡𝗙, Joy, like all of us, we started together in, I'm talking about 95, 96. 95, I started. And in 1996, I took part in Kolkata Sundari. I won, I was the first runner-up. Bipasha was the queen. I was the first runner-up. I took part in Miss Bengal. I was the second runner-up. Rajyasree Chakraborty, she too became a very renowned actor afterwards. She was the queen and I was the second runner-up in Miss Bengals. And the shows went on happening. It like I was the only one probably in that time who worked with all the coordinators who were working in Kolkata at that time, like Lillian, Ashish, Devarun, Shamrat, everybody. I worked with everybody. And being a very disciplined person, I think, and I never ever had any fight with anybody. So everybody was used to be very fond of me, and I went on doing shows. And then I got a call from Jagannath Guha. He too was a very good director at that time, and I got to feature in Monorama Cable. I got selected for 2 like serials at a time. One was Jononi, another was Monorama Cable. So my I started doing Monorama Cable, and I worked for 14 episodes. I worked pretty long at that time. But the same thing kept on happening since I was doing engineering. So my tuitions, my semester, and everything, like my education used to come in between, and that was my priority, because like that can never be a substitute for anything else. Though I was extremely passionate, and modeling is the only thing which I love to do. So I went on doing that. But after that, I was very young. I was just out of college, and I decided to get married, and that ended everything. So I left the world of modeling, and I got completely detached. And then after my son was born in 2004, again in 2005, I met a very old friend. And again, I started, like in between, I have worked with, what do I say, like many corporates. I was with a bank, I was with MNC, I was with a like big MNC, Usha Brita. It was a collaboration between India, Usha Stridam Brita, and Germany. Usha Stridam and Brita, Germany. So I was the, like, what do I say? I was the ideal taster there. And like my corporate journey began, and it was good also. But the modeling area or the era came to an end. But in that short span of time, I was fortunate enough to work for many brands. I worked, I shot for Minu sarees. I was the model for Joystree sarees, 𝗕𝗘𝗘𝗥, Jolajok food products. Many, many, many. I walked a lot. Like it was a lovely journey. That was how it
Amazing.
all. Yeah, it happened suddenly and it ended suddenly, and I was responsible for that.
Like when you were talking, you have taken such names, which has taken me on a nostalgic route because Orunda Act Chobite BA, Shishi Studio,
Ha, ha,
Prabhadda.
ha.
I worked with Prabhadda in Papi, a film in Papi, and then Pepsi, obviously Pepsi. I was with Happy and Ashish, I used to do their films, Rampage, where again Bipasha Koena, they all started their careers
And
there.
I
Then
met you
Devarun
then.
also, we worked together.
Yeah, I met
I know,
you
I
then
remember.
only, in my modeling days only, in your office for the
Absolutely.
anchoring part.
Correct,
We
correct.
have done that. Oh, yes, I
Absolutely.
worked as an
So,
anchor also. I was working with Doordarshan, Kolkata
correct,
Doordarshan.
correct.
I was
Okay,
working
okay,
as an anchor for 2 long years. I worked there for 2 long years.
okay. And also Jogada. Jogada used to stay very near
Jogata.
to, I stay near Maddox Square Park. So Jogada was my neighbor before he,
Yeah, yeah,
changed
yeah.
his residence. So,
Hmm.
all the names you have taken, they are such, nostalgic names, and they took me straight 20, 25 years back when we are all starting, our careers in showbiz in different kind of avatars or different kind of roles, some behind the camera, some on the ramp, some doing makeup, styling, some are fashion designers, photographers,
Right.
filmmakers. So a big bunch of Kolkata's fashionistas, they came up in all
Even
that 90
I
to
would
95, that time.
I would like to mention Tejas Gandhi. Like
Tejas, correct. Tejas Gandhi,
we are again
designer.
working like together. He too started at that point of time, and he was one of my best friend. Like
Yeah,
he used to use me as a model always. Like after
correct.
college, I used to go to his place, and he used to like since I'm a dusky beauty, like I have a dark complexion. So he always used to say, "Je, তুই জানিসই না তোকে কি লাগে?" with makeup
Correct.
on, you have no idea how you look. So he used to do all kind of experiments on me, a lipstick, doing jewelry for me and everything. And he was the one who used to say that you're so good in studies, you continue with your studies, and he was taking training in NIFT at that time, and he said, I'll have a studio of my own, and you're going to take the charge of that. You're going to look after that. His like sister Payal was also very fond of me, and we
Fine.
used
Correct.
to talk
Yeah.
about that long back in 96, 95, 96. But that never happened.
I remember. I remember the Sabia Sachi today was Pepsi at that time, and we used to go to his Triangular Park house, and we used to, hang
Right,
around
right.
there.
Triangular
And
Park. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's still
I
there.
do
He's still
remember.
there. He's
Correct,
still
correct. So, like so much, show stopping, so much walking the ramp, adorning so many crowns. So if Tuhinaa Pandey has to close her eyes today and go on a flashback journey, any one wow moment which really kind of immediately comes back to your mind, what will it be? One wow moment of Tuhinaa's journey till date. If Tuhinaa just closes her eyes and flashbacks, what will that one wow moment be?
there. Winning the title of Kolkata Sundari, being the first runner-up,
Okay.
because there was a tie between the second runner-up and myself, like top three. There was a tie. The question answer round happened twice in the last round, and
Mhm.
like answering again, and so many judges were there. So that was definitely a moment I cherish. I remember always. It was a great moment.
Correct. Correct. In fact, at that era, we had two or three dusky beauties. One was obviously
One was
Tuhinaa,
Vipasha,
One
right?
was Devlina. If you remember, she did ads, and then she went off to Canada. If you remember, like
Devlina,
she
I
did
don't
some.
remember.
She did a lot
Okay,
of ads also. She was more into advertising, like doing a lot of campaigns. So she was there. She
okay,
was
okay.
also very dusky. So three of you, kind of had a lot of competition between you. And obviously, dusky beauties were very much reckoned in those times. Fantastic. So, like Tuhina, our creative
Abhishek,
team has. Yeah, yeah. Tell
Abhishek,
me.
I would like to say one word here because there are a lot many girls who think
Mhm.
like now things have changed, but in our time, like the definition of beauty meant like at least in household like talks and everything that you have to be fair to be beautiful. If you're not
Correct.
beautiful. That was the kind of notion even I had. But that
Yeah,
completely changed when I joined the world of modeling. Then I realized
absolutely.
what importance the dusky complexion have. So till today, I tell
Absolutely.
my students, I tell everybody that all the dark girls are welcome to this world of modeling.
Absolutely. Dark is beautiful. We see Tuhina glowing, and the glow really inspires everyone. Tuhina, our creative team has done a small audiovisual on the various wow moments. We had so many to really choose from, but we have kind of just done a small 1.5 minutes clip. So I would just request Shorbishta to play that back. Tuhina Pandey's small flashback in her journey from 1995 till date. Let us see the wow moments Tuhina had really memorably spent. On to the audiovisual, please, Shormishta.
Takes and Talks takes great pleasure in presenting the beauty with brains, the groomer, the actor, the model, the anchor, the beauty queen, the choreographer, and the dubbing artist. It's an endless list for this very versatile personality, Tuhinaa Pandey, who is currently the joint director of the George Telegraph Film and Television Institute, Kolkata. Tuhinaa is truly a shining example of inner and outer beauty, with a deep sense of social responsibility and the mission to do something worthwhile for those who need care. Tuhinaa's life's journey has indeed been a very inspiring one, and she's all set to share it with us, as on the 8th of August Sunday at the face-to-face talk show of Cinema for a Cause. Takes and Talks presents on the Cinema for a Cause Facebook page Beauty with Brains with the intelligent and the very gorgeous Tuhinaa Pandey. All happening at Takes and Talks on the 8th of August, Sunday at 8 p.m.
Tea with brains. We are with Tuhina Pandey. What a career! What an innings! What wow moments! Fantastic, Tuhina. I was just getting goosebumps. I was just kind of thinking like what these moments had been. Tuhina, just tell us, casting couch. This is a word which we, like come across in showbiz very, very often. So, do you think it's a myth or a reality? What has been your experience?
It's not a myth, it is a reality. It's very much there.
Okay.
But somehow, in though I cannot say I had a very long career in this field, but I am into this world for since I was 19. From the age of 19, I'm here. But till date, I can vouch that I have never ever been approached by anything which is indecent. Nobody has ever asked anything which they shouldn't have. So I haven't experienced anything, but it is there. It's not a myth, a reality definitely. But I think it's absolutely on how a girl, especially a girl, handles a situation or a person. It depends on me. It depends on the personality I have and what exactly I want and how I want that. So it's all about that. And It's absolutely a very personal decision. One has to decide on her or his own that how he or she is going to make her pathway in the industry. So though it
Correct.
is there, I'll always say that it's up to you how you handle a situation or a man or anybody.
Very, very true. So it really exists, but Tuhinaa says you have to handle it intelligently and smartly. That's it. Don't get burnt. I'm using that word. Yes, yes, don't get burnt.
No,
Tuhinaa,
you
you had
have to have faith in you, in yourself,
correct,
and you have to be patient. There's no shortcut way
correct,
to success. One has to remember
correct.
that.
Very, very true. Tuhinaa, you had a fantastic stint with SMPAI, and you have kind of groomed so many models who have all become stars. Many of them have really hit the ramp in a very, very big way. So, any memorable, like achievements or any memorable memoirs of your SMPAI innings?
Lot many, because the period span is of 14 years. That's a lot of time. The best part of my career,
Absolutely. Correct.
probably. Yeah. So for 14 long years, the best part is being a mentor to so many students, actors, models. And I'm so proud even today when I get messages like my uh, students are absolutely in love with me. I was and I still am. I'm extremely popular. I have get like enough respect from them, and even today, names like Richa Sharma, Shona Goldar, Abhishek, uh, like the list goes on and on. When I get messages from them, when I meet them in a show and with a huge smile, like Richa, she waves at me or comes and hugs me, like it's a great moment, obviously, because I used to the why I'm mentioning all the models, because I was the one who used to teach contest preparation. Being with a lot of experience of winning contests and everything, I was the one who used to teach them contest preparation. And most of the models who are working in Bombay and Calcutta, Mumbai and Calcutta, like 𝗑𝗩𝗦𝗧𝗑 is there, Shona Goldar is there, like they have come to the modeling world through contests. So I'm very proud of that. And the other thing is achievements were many, because when I started off with SMPI, it was like just one branch, one classroom. We started off like that, and the turnover barely touched 40 lakh. And in the coming years, in the after I started, I put my heart and soul into it, because I like loved doing it. I enjoyed, like, since like modeling and acting, like this was my passion. The kind of work I had to do over there, looking after the entire thing, looking after the operation, looking after the administration and everything. Then there was a point of time when we had 5 branches in Durgapur, in Siliguri, in Barashat, in Behala, and with like lot many students, and handling them all together was really an achievement. And as I said, the turnover was barely 30 or 40 lakh when I started off. It went on to 2.5 crore, and it went on for years. So I think that's a great achievement and very
Fantastic.
memorable
In
too.
fact,
And I'm
I do.
extremely happy to get so many love of so many hundreds of students. Like Mr. Ganguly, if you go through my FB profile, like you'll understand. And I'm sure I cannot see this messages right now. I'm sure you'll be able to see. I'm sure my students will be watching today also, and they'll be sharing it. I'm very, I'm blessed to have the kind of love I got from them. It was great.
Correct. I do remember when you had your initial setup in Hajra, Shomrat had told me that why don't you come and see us one day, because you can have some wide ideas also. And then I had met you then, and then we exchanged some ideas also. While you were
Yeah.
at the helm of SMPAI, And obviously, I was tracing the kind of growth of SMPAI from that one small Hazra unit. The way you all grew, that was phenomenal. So,
it took a huge shape, and I had a wonderful team, and I'm still bonded with them. Like, though they are working in different organizations right now, but like, the bonding was excellent. And as I told you, I think I'm a good like team leader, and I had an excellent team. Otherwise, you cannot do anything alone. So the when the success
absolutely
graph goes this way, so there has to be a contribution of many
true,
who
true.
are working for you.
Correct. So it was excellent teamwork and led by a mentor,
Excellent.
a very inspiring, dusky woman on the top, Tuhinaa Pandey. Fantastic. Tuhina, your current assignment, which is you are the joint director of the George Telegraph Film and Television Institute. You all started at the heart of, when pandemic had struck, 29 July, if I am not mistaken, and you have just kind of completed 1 year. And it was a part of the celebration, 100-year celebration, the centenary celebration of the very heritage organization, George Telegraph, a film institute with a difference. So, exactly how has your cruise been through very tumultuous pandemic times? How did you face it? How did you really manage such trying times? And you already have completed one batch, the second batch is on, as I heard. So, it also has been a fantastic breakthrough, a fantastic debut or a start. So, how did all this happen? Again, Tuhinaa Pandey's magic has worked, is it?
That I don't know. I'm not a person to decide on that. And that is up to my higher authorities, my MD, and like whoever I'm working with. But the name George Telegraph is definitely the magic word, because it's a I'm extremely honored and lucky to be on a with an organization which is running for 100 long years. This is our 101 years running, and it's amazing. I'm extremely thankful to many people, but the most important of them all is one is 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏, who like introduced me to our MD, Sri Subrata Datta, and sir, like he's the only person whom I probably I call sir in the organization. He's an amazing man. Like till date, I learn every day from all his conversation, whatever he says, he talks to me. And during our pandemic, to start to start off with a vertical as important as Film Institute is something which no other man would have like even thought of, but he did that. And even I remember, like 29 July was the date. It was a auspicious day. It was fixed for our digital launch, because physical launch was impossible at that time, at that period. So, but just 7 days before that, 29 July was fixed and everything was done. Like the launching, the print ads, and everything, whatever planning we had. And then CM declared the date of complete lockdowns, like 2 days, 3 days after. And 29 July was one of them. And I was like, oh God, what will happen? I called up sir. He said, okay, let's see. I'll tell you. And within 1 hour, I got his message that nothing is changing. We are launching on 29 July. Let the people stay at home and read your ad, read the newspaper. You go there and do your work from 30th of July. So that's the kind of speed. I was like I'll never ever forget that moment. That message, like I've stored it. It's there with me, like always. It's going to be there. And his thought, like he said, one thing he said when in my interview, he said that we have everything. Like George Telegraph has over 23 verticals, like right from engineering to dentistry to interior design to wellness, and everything is there. He said we don't have anything related to the film world. Like Film Institute is not there. We don't have that. And Anindo Dotto, he too, I would like to mention. him because he's another director of George Telegraph Group, and he too said this is something which we haven't thought about, and they thought I am capable enough to hold the chair, hold the response. They have given all the responsibility to me to run a vertical as important as a film and television institute. And then the names are Biplav Dasgupta. He knows me for many years, but he said yes without a question. And when I talked to him, there was not even anything done about GTFTI. Everything happened after that. He was the first person who I talked to, and he said yes, amazing. And he was the man who introduced me to 𝗧𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, again, he needs no introduction. So he talked to me, he came on board as a chief mentor. And then 𝗧𝗓𝗏 was the person who took on board Atanu Ghosh, HOD of film direction, Chomi Khaldar, HOD of cinematography. And it just happened to me. Since it's George Telegraph, nobody had any question in their mind. And when they talked to me, they said, if you have, like whatever you're saying, if you have this kind of intention, we are there with you. So I think this is the best thing that has happened to me during pandemic. This was the best thing that could have happened in my life, and everything changed. And George Telegraph Film and Television Institute is unique in its own way, and we are having the best of trainers on board, the best of infrastructural support, uh, amazing MD I have who never says no to me, whatever I keep on asking. I need fund, I have to do this, I have to buy this, I need to do that. Like endless demands are there, because to set up a institute of like this kind, we are doing it in a like keeping at par the standards of FTI and SRFTI. Like it's a complete film school. We have given it a shape of that, and I keep on asking things from him, and he's always there. Otinda is always there. Biplavda is always there. Otunuda is always there. Like I'm so lucky. I'm so humbled and blessed that I'm being able to work with this kind of men who have done so good in their life, and they're so humble. They're so down to earth. They're so helpful. They're always there. And the only motto we have is to give the best training to our students so that they can make a difference, establish themselves in this industry, and work well. That is the only. That's a wonderful.
Lovely, Tuhinaa. Fantastic. I understand you are an inspired woman today as the joint director, and to have Mr. Subroto Dotto, a visionary, who said, even in pandemic times, let's go ahead. The
Yes.
launch will happen. That is, leaders take risks, and the risk has paid off. That is fantastic, Tuhinaa. And obviously, all the other DAs you have named, all are very, very eminent people, and all very like people who have led from the front, Srijit, Otonu, Biplavda, Shomik. So all are kind of leaders in their own genres of work. And you have a fantastic team. And as you said, we want to give the best to our students. So there is no compromise on quality in your institute. Fantastic,
No.
fantastic. Now, Tuhinaa, like we'll just shift the entire focus to something else. As you said, you have been inspired by Shushmita Sen. So you are also a single parent. So now the question is, do you think our society is ready for single parenting? Do you have any stumbling blocks, any kind of, like problems anywhere which as a single parent you might be facing? I don't know. Like I would like to know, like from you. As a single parent, what does Tuhinaa have to say about her journey as a single parent?
Problems will be there, but problems has to be solved. So that is my motto. As a single parent, I would love to say a few things. Like if I talk about the generation of our previous generation, our parents' generation, blockages are there. They don't accept divorce or the decision of taking a divorce so lightly. And though I was very lucky to get supported by my father, by my uncle, when I decided to uh, start living alone, though I got support from my father, my uncle, my family members, but the main resistance came from my mother. She said, why after so many years? If you were not happy, you were not happy maybe from the first day, but why after 12 years? And but the best part is I got support from my in-laws also. I won't say that just because I'm a divorcee, I had a bad family. It's not that. It's just that the differences of opinion I had with the person I got married, with the person I thought I'll be spending my entire life with, the differences of opinion, it became so large that I thought it's better to stay alone. He in his world, I in my world, so that everything is calm and composed, and for the betterment of my son. I have taken the entire responsibility of my son, and now I come to my generation, my friends, my colleagues, and everybody who belongs to my generation have accepted me without even uh, a question. My friends have never, I've never been separated or uh, put aside, or I have never heard they are talking something bad about me behind me. I've never heard about it. So my generation has accepted me. The next generation, like my son, his friends, and all, they are completely cool about the entire thing. This generation is they're so advanced. They're okay with single parenting. They're okay with second marriage option. They're okay with the living concept. They are open to everything. And not only my son, my friends' children, my son's friends, and they're like that. But the problem comes from the social stigma. The problem comes from other areas, like when you go to government offices to renew your passport, to make a passport for your son, you are asked many questions. The father has to be there, if because for a minor son, and if he's not there, if he refuses to come, then the mother is harassed and asked many questions. I faced that, which is, I think, should change. And in schools also, though I did not face any problem in my son's school, I was always allowed in. I was never questioned when I used to go alone, like when I attend the parent teacher meeting alone. I was never questioned because I had talked to the principal when it happened. My son was in class 3, so I had to talk to the principal. And after that, Hartley School, he's in Hartley Public School, nothing was wrong. But I've heard from my friends who are also single parents that school is a problem. And some like government offices areas are a problem. These are the problems a single mother face. But I think days are changing, time is changing. It's absolutely, I think we should take this positively as well. So no point staying under the same roof and fighting every day. So if you can stay happy in your own world, if you're responsible, if you can take the responsibility alone, uh, uh, whether you're a father or a mother, any one parent should take the responsibility, complete responsibility. I think he can be a father, he can be a mother. Like the best parent should take a child's responsibility, and I think that's it.
I really love that, Tuhina. You are a brave woman. You know, the way you have expressed, as you said, whoever takes the responsibility must do his or her duty perfectly. You know, there should not be
Absolutely.
any compromise there because the child is what matters. And again, as you said, times are changing. You know, like the Gen Next, they are super cool about such stuff, which, there are very good points about that also. You know, most of the marriages, even if they are staying under one roof, they are, they are two islands. Many are they have a distance. So there are very few marriages which really work out. Most of them are convenient marriages nowadays. So that way, single
Actually,
parenting.
my lawyer also said the same thing, that there are many families which, so I did not have any, I had no mental connection with my ex-husband. So I thought I couldn't cope it that way. So, but my lawyer said that there are hundreds and thousands of women or families who are leaving it just like that, because they're spending completely separate lives, but they have like decided to keep the marriage on, just to show it to the world that they are our family. So I said, the kind of straightforward person I am, I'm not at all a diplomatic person. I cannot be a hypocrite. I'm a very bad actor. I cannot go on showing like, uh, it's a complete farce. So I cannot go on acting in front of everybody every day. So it's better I face the social stigma. Let them say I'm bad. I'm ready to accept.
No, you have been honest to yourself, the inner call. You have to answer to
Yes.
yourself. That's most important. At the end of the day, if you just ask yourself, if you introspect, what will the answer be? So you are at least happy, you are blissful, you are the right kind of mother your son could have, dreamt about. So it has worked. So being single, the Tuhina is rocking. That's fine. That's, like we also admire your very, very brave spirit and to take it heads on. Tuhina, before there are so many questions coming, we are running short of time, so I'll go on to the last bit of it. Everything in showbiz finally is, as you said, it's not about how you look, it's about how you face and how you think. So the mental fitness, apart from your physical fitness, your attitude, your look, your body language, your mental fitness is also very, very important. How do you handle failures? How do you handle auditions which don't work out? Many a times, you are selected for a movie, but you're dumped. Many films don't work out. Many ad campaigns you shoot, but they don't come out. So failures are a part of your life. So what kind of mental fitness as a mentor, as a guru, what will you be telling the next gen models or actors? What kind of mental fitness they should be having to really sail through the ups and downs, the good, bad, ugly world of showbiz? Tuhinaa Pandey.
The favorite thing, which I go on saying my students every day. First is, one has to be patient, very, very patient. Like, even if you get a work today, there is absolutely no security that you're going to get the second one tomorrow. So you have to be very patient. You have to be ready to be dejected. You have to be ready to be rejected. Still, you have to believe in yourself. You have to learn from the failure. You have to learn from the mistake you have done. And you have to go on trying. You have to go on and on and on. That's what the show world is all about. Because it is definitely all of glitz and gloss, but it's not that rosy like either. The darker sides are still there, and you have to be very patient. You have to go on motivating yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You will not find a single person beside you until and unless you are the one who's there to guide you and tell you to rise up, move, and shine. So it's very important for I'm sure all my students, like most of my students, must be watching today. So whatever I tell you inside the classroom, I'm going to repeat, and to all the aspiring actors and models and who are trying to be a part of this world, please be patient. Please be. You have to keep your mind in control. You have to be calm. You have to be composed, and you have to go on trying and leave everything to him. If you have it here, nobody can take it from you. And you have to be dedicated to the work. You have to be disciplined, punctual, take care of yourself, and The world is all yours. Opportunities are limitless. It's up to you how you face the world, even if it is big, even if it is bad, it's good too. So it's all up to you.
Great, great, Tuhinaa. We are talking to Tuhinaa Pandey in Takes and Talks and Beauty with Brains. She has really given us glimpses, learnings from her life, and she said that all that is glitz and glamour is not that, what it's really what it takes, because you have to be mentally fit, you have to be resilient, you have to be patient, you have to keep on at it, you have to face failures to finally rise up and finally be happy at the pinnacle of success. Tuhinaa, we have many, many, many questions coming up, so I will not take up any more time from Shormishta. So we will straight go on to the question and answer session at Takes and Talks. It was wonderful talking to you. You are really a motivator. Thanks a lot. I'll be just joining you in a short while. On to Shormishta for the question and answer session at Takes and Talks with Tuhinaa Pandey.
You are watching Takes and Talks.
You are watching Takes and Talks, and today we are with the timeless beauty, Tuhinaa Pandey, the beauty with brains. Time for viewers' questions and answers. So, as Mr. Ganguly was rightly saying, we are loaded with questions. I can still see questions coming to me. I mean, coming for you. So, I won't take much time, and we will take the questions quickly with very short answers and precise answers.
Okay.
So, first of all, I would like to say, Tuhinaa, you are a multi-hyphenated person. So, our viewers would like to know, I mean, you are into so many things. You are wearing many hats. How do you manage everything so perfectly? What is your mantra?
I'm extremely methodical. I'm a very good planner. I plan everything beforehand, like whatever I'm going to do tomorrow, it's all in my head, written down in my diary today. That at that time I have to do that, at that time I have to do that. Managing home, managing work, and everything. You have to be methodical, you have to streamline your work, and you have to work well. That's it.
Okay, but don't you think, amidst all planned things, you have to be prepared for some, what should I say, some unplanned things as well? That happens to us, right? Life cannot always be planned. So how do you prepare yourself for that? How do you deal with that, rather?
That you have to take head on. Like you have to decide at that particular moment, whatever comes in your mind, whatever you have to do, if it is that important, you have to do that. That's it. Like you just go on being methodical, being dedicated worker, and it's you take it head on and decide right on that moment, like what to do and how to do.
So being methodical is the key to success. That's what Tuhinaa Pandey believes in. With this comes another question. With so many things, planned work and so much work, and the unplanned work which might be there, which might come up suddenly. That's why it is called unplanned. So, how do you, with all these, come stress? Come stress. How does Tuhinaa Pandey deal with stress? Our viewers would like to know.
Stress and tension is a part of our life. You cannot,
Right.
there is no mantra, there is no medicine which can set you apart from stress and tension. The only thing is you have to be positive. You have to take the best thing out of the worst situation. You have to tell yourself that, okay, the entire day, suppose a day when everything went wrong, even after like doing all the wrong things or all the wrong happenings, at the end of the day you have to say or like tell yourself that this is the thing which was good and I learned this out of it. So if not anything else, it will give you an experience. And if it was a mistake, you will not do that again. So take the best thing out of life. Do not have any regret. Do not have any, no point being tensed or being stressed out. So that will not help you, not in this world. You have to be good. You have to look good.
So that's the funda. I mean, you have to be eclectic. You have to have a learner's attitude, a learning attitude throughout, right? That's the main funda behind success. With this, we have another question from one of our viewers. You have always faced everything with a smile. That's really great. How do you not let things go against you? Going against you affect you. How do you motivate yourself? A very apt question for a person like you.
Very apt question.
Multi-hyphenated.
Oh, and it came from Pratik, and I could see a question from Shivani also. I would love to answer her question because she's my best friend and she has been there through all thick and thin. She's a colleague, but she is the best, only person who I
No, you've already answered that question. How do you manage time? I already answered the question.
Okay,
I just shortened the question.
Okay. And what Pratik asked, Pratik is also very good. He's a music composer, and I'm very fond of him also. Pratik, whatever goes against you is you have to take it as a boon, because sometimes when people say bad things to you, when you get a rebuke, when you face disgrace, or you're disgusted or disrespected, you have to take that positively, and you have to turn around and show the world that this is what I am all about. The person who you rejected, the person who you disgraced, person who you said is maybe bad or something, is actually the best you had. So that is how I manage it. I take everything and then I reply in my own way. I answer back in my own way and in a very positive way. You have to be back with a bang.
Right.
You have to be back with a bang.
Very, very positive, right?
Yeah.
And strong from within.
Very strong. You have to be mentally. You have to be very strong.
Right. True. That's why I said in the very beginning, you personify beauty in a very broader aspect. So if beauty is being dainty, delicate, and petite, it also means being strong, enduring, and tolerant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on to the next question. A very apt question for you. Who has motivated you the most in your professional career? So if you're asked to imitate, it's not the right word, rather. I mean, if you're asked to follow someone, who would you choose and why? So who has inspired you?
It's Sushmita Sen, the only person who I was inspired, I'm awestruck about that woman, that diva. Like, she's the ultimate goddess to me, because right from the year when I began, when she won, I was just in class 4 or 5 at that time, probably. But since then, till today, there is not one show of her that I miss. Listening to her interviews and everything. She's the one who keeps motivating, and I can relate to her thoughts. She's way ahead of her time. She's extremely extrovert. She's extremely with a different kind of thought, very intelligent, and she's the one who I really follow, and I motivate myself. There's nobody else who can motivate me to go on the way I do. So and obviously my friends. You should have a good circle of friends who can motivate you, who loves you, no end. They are there with you.
So you have
I would like to mention, I don't know whether Arijit Basu, Shivani Boshumolli, Kaushik Banerjee, Sanjukta Majumdar, Kasturi Sen, like Pushan Kaur. These are the person who are the like best part of my life, and with them, with me, I know I'll be motivated throughout my life. I'm very thankful, very grateful to have them in my life.
So blessed you are in that sense, right?
Yes, very blessed, very much blessed. I have a like wonderful set of
Great to know. Great
friends,
to know.
close friends.
Okay, great to know that. Friends matter a lot. Well, Tuhina, you are already wearing so many hats. So, is there any area that you would like to explore in future, in near future? You're already into so many things.
I am already into so many things, but I guess acting is the only sector which is yet to be explored properly, because I
Uh-huh.
personally think, being a so straight a person, like I don't know whether I have that trait in me or not. So if
Mhm.
I get a chance, I would like to explore that as well, because that
All the
part
best to
has
you
not
for that.
been explored yet. Yeah, I need to think about it.
Okay, okay. And all the best to you.
Thank
Since you're talking about acting, we've come to that part. We have some questions related to that, films, categorization of films and acting related to that. So, if you permit, we would like to go for those questions as well.
yeah. Absolutely.
But before that, we have a very interesting question from Pooja Mishra. It's a very interesting, and I believe it's an introspective question. Though it's a very long question, but I would take the privilege of reading it to you. Age is just a number, they say, but not in modeling profession. But when it comes to a woman to choose a career as a modeling professional or acting, why did it really get restricted to at a certain age? Why certain physical development did not fit the so-called beauty standard, especially in case of women? It's a very introspective question, don't you think so?
It is, but it's absolutely a wrong concept, Pooja. I don't know whether I know you or not. You must talk to me about it and I'll explain, because nothing comes to a stop for a woman, not a age. Obviously, when I went to Mrs. India, I had to compete with a 28-year-old girl too. But
Mhm.
physicality doesn't matter when you go higher up the ladder of age, I mean, because then the way you're carrying yourself matters, your personality matters, your intellect matters, physicality doesn't matter always. And even if you're talking about the like ramp shows, you have to maintain yourself, obviously. But about the still shoots, the commercial ads, it's open to you till you can work. Even if you can be a model of a particular product at the age of 70, 75. We see old people in the ad, and we need uh, like older models too. So nothing stops until you do. Age is definitely a number. It depends on what you want and how you want to do that. You have to go on moving that. And please, I would like you to talk to me, send me a request, or write me in my messenger. I'll definitely like to talk to you. Nothing can stop a woman. You can go on.
Maybe she is asking the question on behalf of so many people, on behalf of so many viewers.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this is a wrong concept. Like, modeling is not only about being physically beautiful, it's about many other things. Like, I'm there as a groomer to teach everything as well, but she can always talk to me, even if she is not a student or not an acquaintance, she can always talk to me.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, coming to the grooming part, since you have mentioned the word groomer, uh, so what qualities do you think a groomer should possess?
One has to be very, very motivating. One has to understand the group of people who I am catering to or talking to. Grooming
Mhm.
is not it's divided, like if I do a broad division, like time is running out. two parts are there. One is external grooming, which is very easy, like the kind of clothes you'll wear, the kind of accessories you can match with that. That is the easiest part. The main thing is the internal grooming, to train your mind, to keep it calm and composed, to be positive. That is the thing. And a groomer should have enough patience and the quality in her or himself to understand the psychology of the people who you are talking to, so that you can guide them properly. It has to be customized. It cannot be generalized. It is a
Right. It has
customized.
to be customized. Very true. Very
Yes,
true.
yeah.
Well answered.
Whatever is good for you might not be good for me. Whatever is good for me might not be good for you. So it cannot, it has to be customized.
It has to be customized. Very true. Very well said. Now, moving on to some questions related to this film and those areas. How do you perceive the categorization of commercial Bengali film and parallel cinema? Do you think this categorization is justified?
No, no, no. There is actually no categorization. Like it cannot be categorized. Like a cinema is a cinema, whether it's commercial or a parallel. Like we are the one who has like made the demarcation. Like maybe the viewers change. Like the kind of film I like, you might not like that genre of film. But there is actually no demarcation, actually no categorization. A film is a film. It depends on the viewer. It depends on the content of the film that a viewer is accepting or is like wants to watch. It depends on that. I don't think Bengali cinema can be categorized, or there is any categorization as such. There is no demarcation. A cinema is a cinema. Parallel cinema, so-called parallel cinema, can be extremely popular, and so-called commercial film can be flop as well. So it depends on the viewers.
It depends on the viewers. Right. Very true.
Yeah.
Another question, Mr. 𝗬𝗠𝗑 Banerjee would like to know. Do you
Shomo
think
is a
Indian
very good
film...
friend of mine once again.
Okay, we'd like to thank him for watching the show. Thank you very much, Mr. Banerjee. So his question is, do you think Indian filmmakers today are fully free to express their views and opinions through their films? Very apt question.
Oh yes, I think they are. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got films like Padman, Cherny. They are, Indian filmmakers are like ready to share their views and express their views with the viewers. I think so, because we are having so many films on topics and issues which are so relevant to the society, and that makes, like, the make-believe world hardly exist in modern cinema. What I have come to see and come to know in the recent past or recent years, the kind of films that are happening are completely relevant to the modern world, and filmmakers are definitely ready to express their views freely. The censor board is definitely there, but if it is my film, if I'm the storyteller, I'm absolutely free to express my feeling or my views, and then let's see what everything has changed. Everything has changed for the better, and they can. I think they can express everything freely nowadays.
Very well answered. Now, OTT platform is becoming very popular. So, do you think OTT platforms are the future? And of course, OTT is like, everybody is into OTT. We are enjoying OTT like anything, especially during this COVIDian times, during this trying times. So, but do you think this will gradually affect cinema halls? There's a question from 𝗕𝗡𝗏. 𝗕𝗏.
Agni, Sen, Agniv Sen is again one of my very favorite students. The last question came from Saronita. She too is one of my favorite students. And no, Agniv, I don't think it's going to affect the cinema halls. Definitely, when a filmmaker makes a film for he aspires to be his product, his story to be shown on the big screen. Definitely. But it's all about your viewers once again. During the pandemic situation, like things have changed and we have to, I believe change is the only constant, only factor that is constant in the universe. So we have to adapt ourselves. We have to think that this is the best thing what we can have right now. And digital world is the future, I think. So I don't think it's going to affect the cinema halls as long as there are privacy settings, like on OTT platform. What happens? The product can be like, I won't like to use the word pirating. Pirating is not the right word, but maybe individual products should be bought. Viewers should be careful, so that cinema is a form of entertainment which moves the world. So we all should be responsible to keep it alive in whichever way possible. The medium, at least it's there, let it be there. At least the films are being made. At least we have got a separate platform, if not the cinema hall for the time being. And cinema halls will be there. Cinema is never going to stop, and cinema will be always there. So let's take what we have today. We'll think about the rest of the things later on.
Later. Another question on film. What is your inner view on the situation of Bengali cinema? Where do you want to see the industry in 5 to 10 years ahead?
Oh, this comes from Arijit Banerjee, again one of my very favorite student of film direction division. Bengali cinema has improved a lot, and when young directors like you all are thinking about it and ready to take control of it, I think it's going to be in the best of position in the near future. And Bengali cinema has, I will say, it has regained its position that was there. There was a golden era during Uttam Kumar and Soumitra Chatterjee and everything. Then a lean period was there. And again, it's back to its own, important place. And so many good filmmakers we have got, including Sujit Mukherjee, including Atanu Ghosh, and so many others are there. Kaushik Ganguly, Gautam Ghosh, and Kamaleshwar Mukherjee. So many good directors are there. And so it's back in its own position, in its own, with a golden crown on its head. And I'm sure when young directors like you all, a bunch of directors which are getting trained right now, whom I am interacting every day, the kind of thought you guys are having, the kind of passion you guys are having, it's amazing. And I'm sure Bengali cinema will be again on the pinnacle of success in the next coming 5 to 10 years.
Let's hope for them.
Very positive. Yeah, very hopeful.
So Bengali, we are lucky that Bengali cinema is in safe hands. The future is safe.
Absolutely.
The future,
absolutely,
I'm sure, will be flourishing.
Yes.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. Another question, what do you think about the scope of independent filmmakers in the current scenario?
Independent filmmakers, the scope in the sense, I don't know what exactly you meant, but it becomes difficult for an
opportunity.
Scope of opportunity in the sense, sometimes it is difficult for an independent filmmaker to release his product in the halls or something. But there are once again, I think OTT platform and the apps are the relievers. You can, when you make a product, you have to be open to showcase it or to send it to millions of viewers through any platform, any medium you get. And I think that way scopes are unlimited. So a filmmaker or a creator should not limit himself or herself to something which is like to a particular thing. So you have to go on searching for opportunities. And if you go on searching for opportunities, they are there. So you have to find them and go ahead. Just go on. Don't stop.
Don't stop. Just go on. The show must go on.
Show must go on.
Yes. The last question, even last question of viewers' question answer round. What is the core reason of your beautiful smile? What a beautiful question it is. Core reason of your beautiful smile.
I smile from my heart. I have a beautiful heart. So no makeup can give you a beautiful smile if you don't have a beautiful heart. So be yourself and be a good human being. And you too can smile like me. And thank you so much for the question.
Yes. Yes, please continue. Reason behind your beautiful smile.
I answered. I think. Acha.
So you need to have a golden heart. You need to smile from within.
You need to smile from within. Absolutely. If you're a good human being, if you are end of the day, if you are if you have a pure heart, if you are a pure soul, the glow will be there, and your smile will be the glint will be in your eyes too, and that makes it beautiful, I think.
Very true. Very true. With this, we have come to the end of our viewers' question answer round. Let me add Mr. Abhishek Ganguly to the stream.
Thanks, Shormishta. I was kind of eavesdropping from the makeup room and listening to the unstoppable Tuhinaa. Like I liked one word which really touched me, which is internal grooming. As you know, we generally hear external grooming, but that word really caught my attention. You have to be internally groomed to have a smile like Tuhinaa's, to have that, as you said, the mantra is to go on, and on. Now, Tuhinaa, my last question to you, as we are, like we have already overshot the time limit.
Yes.
Tuhinaa Pandey, where does she want to see her maybe 5 years from now in 2026? Where do you want to see yourself?
In 5 years down the line, I would like to, like, if I categorize it in three ways, like I aspire to be a better form of myself. Whatever I am today, I should be the best after 5 years. My dream is to see myself on the billboards. Doesn't matter if it happens at the age of 50 or 60 or 70. That's a dream. I want to look myself up on the billboard. And I would like GTFTI, George Telegraph Film and Television Institute, to be established as the best film institute of West Bengal, and the boundary should cross, and we will have a not only pan-India, but outside India presence in 5 years. I would.
Excellent. So Tuhinaa's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tuhinaa's five-year action plan was shared with Takes and Talks. Great having you, Tuhinaa, the beauty with brains, on to Shormishta to just address our participants and the ones who watched.
So, dear viewers, this was Tuhinaa Pandey, the beauty with brains. And Mr. Ganguly has added another adjective to it. Tuhinaa Pandey, the timeless beauty. So thank you very much, Tuhinaa, for being a part of our show, for enriching our show with such beautiful, such valuable words, valuable suggestions, valuable tips. I'm sure our viewers have enjoyed the show a lot. And I would like to thank the viewers for their questions, for their comments, and for everything. Uh, so, dear viewers, as I always say, Takes and Talks is your very own platform. So, if you have any such inspiring story to share, please do not forget to contact us. For details, please take a quick look at the next video. Thank you very much.